So what does a $1 million buys you in the city of Toronto? Well, many would think that an expensive city like this, $1 million could go just as far and get you something like this, which is true because the average price of properties in Greater Toronto area have surpassed 1.1 million mark. But if you're strategic about it and know where to look, you can still find good and livable properties within $1 million price point in the city of Toronto. So I'll be sharing those properties in this video with you. And if you get any value out of this content, then please smash that like button and also do subscribe to the channel. And if you've got any questions about real estate, you can book a call with me by clicking on the first link mentioned in the description below. So I'm going to divide this video in two parts. In the first segment of this video, I'm going to talk about houses, which includes detached properties, semi-detached properties, and freehold townhouses. And in the second segment of this video, I'm going to talk about condos under $1 million range. To be honest, there's not much of a problem for condos because there are tons of options under $1 million mark, but it gets tricky for houses because there are not many options for those. So the minimum criteria I've taken for properties or for the houses, which I'm going to hunt down for you within $1 million range, they need to have 3-bedroom at least and 2-bathroom. They need to have at least 1 parking spot, and they have to be in a good neighborhood in the 416 area. 416 area is basically Toronto proper, and I'm going to explain that to you over a map in a few seconds from now. And speaking of condos, the minimum criteria I've taken for those is that it has to have 2-bed and 2-bath, has to be minimum of 800 square feet and up, and has to be in a good neighborhood in a well-managed building in downtown Toronto. So speaking of 416 area, let me just quickly show you on the map. So here is the map of Toronto proper, which is south of Steeles to east of Mississauga to the west of Pickering, that is Durham region. And you can see the W's and the C's and E's. So W's is basically West Toronto, C's are basically Central Toronto, and the E's are basically East Toronto. And we don't see much of freehold properties available under $1 million mark in the central Toronto area. First, because it's expensive, and this is where you can find cluster of condos. So that's why we don't have many freehold properties or houses in the C's. Realistically, fine, you can decent livable, ready to move in houses are going to be in W04s and W09, which is basically Richview area and Western area. Decent neighborhoods, certain pockets I would avoid, but overall it's a decent neighborhood. And second option is going to be on the east side, that is in the South Scarborough area, that is EO8, EO9, EO4s, and EO6. This is where you can find decent livable houses within $1 million range. Okay, so first example I'm going to talk about is at 59 Cliffside Drive. This was listed for $990,000 if I can talk. This was located at Kingston and Midland. That's the intersection. Let me show you on the Google Maps. So this is located on the east side right over here. So the commute to downtown Toronto is not going to be that bad on a GO train, in my opinion. And going back to the listing, so this is a 3-bed plus 1 and a 2 washroom. So just a heads up, one of the washroom is in the basement, and the other one is on the main level, and the lot size is 141 by 45, which is a pretty solid or pretty good lot size for a house. And let me show you a couple of pictures to you. So this is the house. This is how the house looks like, and they have a massive backyard, which I just spoke about. It's got pretty decent or pretty massive lot, and this is how the house looks like from outside, and this is from inside. Not the ultra luxury, but livable in my opinion. So let's go ahead and check out the next example. All right, next up is 1659 Keele Street. Is located on the northwest part of Toronto. This is where exactly it is located. It's between Eglinton and St. Clair, and the exact intersection is going to be Keele and Rogers Road. In terms of neighborhood, it has growth potential down the line because there's a Eglinton Crosstown LRT coming up, which is going to run on Eglinton from east to west or west to east. And let me quickly show you a map of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT. So it's going to run between Mount Dennis and Kennedy, and this is where the property is located, 1659 Keele Street. So which is good. And let's go back to the listing. So this property was sold for $825,000 in October of 2024. Comes with a basement with a separate entrance. So you have rental potential. You can rent it out to someone else, or you can do Airbnb for the 6 months in a year. So you have that potential. Comes with parking spots, and it's a 3-bed, 2-bath, and that's pretty much. And let me quickly show you a couple of pictures. So this is how the house looks like from outside. And here are a couple of more pictures. Pretty basic, but yeah, that's what you get for the price point in Toronto. And in terms of lot size, it is 20 by 100 feet, which is not too bad. All right, next example we're looking at is at 99 Goodwood Park. It's located on the east side of the city. Let me quickly show you on the map. It is located on the east side, and it's basically the intersection we look talking about is Victoria Park and Danforth. That's where it is located. And going back to the listing, it was sold for $950,000 and it was on market for 15 days. Lot size is 26 by 80, not the biggest, but it's pretty decent in my opinion for the city of Toronto. It's a semi-detached and 3 stories, which is good. Doesn't come with a basement, but has 1 parking spot. Okay, let me show you a couple of pictures just for your reference. So this is the backyard of the house. And this is how the house looks like from outside. It's a semi. And yeah, pretty basic, nothing crazy fancy, but decent enough. So yes, there are options out there in the city under $1 million mark, but if you have to be a bit strategic about it and you have to stay slightly away from the core of the city, and you can find various options under 1 million mark. If you're looking for more cheaper options than this, then you'll have to compromise on the criteria. That is, then you'll have to go for 2-bedroom instead of 3-bedroom, or you might be okay giving away the parking spot and be okay with street parking with the permit. If you're okay to compromise on these things, then you're also able to find cheaper places than this. That's what I'm trying to say. And also, if you want a list of detached properties under 1 million mark, just let me know in the comment below and I would be happy to share those listings with you. Now let's go ahead and check out what's available under $1 million mark for condos. Next up, we're going to talk about a condo townhouse in downtown Toronto. It is 16 Laidlaw Street, townhouse 914. This was sold for $862,000. It was on market for 40 days and it is 2-bed plus 1, that is 10, and 2 washrooms. It's about like 1,000 square feet, and maintenance fee we're looking at is $457 and comes with a little terrace. I'll show you in the pictures. So let's check that out. So here are the couple of pictures I'm going to show you. So that's the terrace I was talking about. And this is the townhouse from outside. And this is the living area of the inside of the townhouse. So in terms of location, it is located on the King Liberty area. It is located on the west end of the city. That is King and Dufferin. That's the intersection we're talking about over here. Pretty solid location, but you don't have access to a subway in this location, but you do have access to a streetcar, which can take you to Financial District or to the core of the city, which is about like 20-25 minutes commute from this location, which isn't that bad. But overall, it's pretty solid location in my opinion. Safe and pretty lively. You have access to lots of activities, bars, restaurants. So in that way, it is pretty cool. So now let's go ahead and now I'm going to show you a decent condo in the city under $1 million. Next up, I'm going to show you condo at 21 Grand Magazine Street. It is located at Lakeshore and Bathurst. You can see on the map, it is right over here. Pretty solid location. It's basically close to Fort York Boulevard area. Center Island, sorry, not Center Island. The Billy Bishop Airport is around the corner. You have access to Coronation Park on the west, and pretty decent location if you were to the core. Again, it doesn't have access to the subway, but you do have access to a streetcar. If you were to go to the Union Station, it'll take you about 20 minutes commute from this location to Union via streetcar. This condo was sold for $915,000. It's about like 1,000 square foot give and take. The 2+10, 2-bathroom, and maintenance is $796. Comes with a parking and locker, pretty decent. And let me show you a couple of pictures. Looking out southwest, so decent sunlight exposure and decent layout, because in condos we see they're pretty cramped or shoeboxes style condos right now which are being built in the market, but this is a pretty good livable layout. It is split layout and you don't see much of wasted space. So here we go, and yep, that's all those are amenities. Now let me show you run the numbers with you. If you were to buy this for like $915,000 and you put down, if you're someone who's putting in 20%, and amortization period is 25 years, and the interest rate, just an example, I've taken it as 4.75. Your monthly carrying cost, including principal, interest, maintenance, and property taxes, is going to be about like 5,000 or 5,200 give and take. So that's, I just wanted to give you a quick heads up. All right, that's pretty much for today, and I hope I was able to give you some value. And if you want the list of properties within $1 million mark, please let me know in the comments below and I would be happy to share those lists with you. Thank you so much for watching. See you in the next video.